Auto Club Speedway is the premier motorsports facility in Southern California. Built on the site of the former Kaiser Steel Mill near Fontana in 1996 at a cost of $100 million. The track has 84,000 permanent seats and is home to a NASCAR Cup and Xfinity Series race each spring. Constructed by the Penske Corporation as a clone of Michigan Speedway, the track was originally known as California Speedway. It was later purchased by ISC, which subsequently sold its naming rights to the Automobile Club of Southern California in 2008. In addition to a high-banked oval, Auto Club Speedway features several road course configurations, which have been used for sports car and motorcycle races, as well as an infield track used for testing purposes. Given its proximity to Hollywood, the track has also appeared in scores of movies, television shows, and commercials. Tonight, it's race 17 of the IROC Challenge Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Fontana, California, the Auto Club Speedway for race 17 of the IROC Challenge Series. 74-degree ambient temperature here tonight and cooling off as the sun continues to set. 57% humidity, clear skies. Not so breezy tonight, 2 miles per hour. Track temperature 77 degrees, also cooler than what we dealt with last night in the No Bull Racing Series. Ironically won by the 3 of Brian McCann. Warm-up in progress here. Just about 3 minutes remaining in the session. We'll see where everyone is lined out in this warm-up. Right now, Mike Cook, the fastest. A few drivers not taking any time just yet. Brandon Mefford, who was fast last night. In fact, a runner-up finish in the No Bull Racing Series. He's second fast right now in the warm-up. Ooh, almost some contact between the brothers Mefford, it looks like. Yes, 83-46, Brandon and Chris. Again, one major difference about tonight's race is, well, the tire life, or the tires allotment over the pit wall here tonight for these drivers to change. Still 2 sets, just like it was yesterday, but the major difference is the fuel capacity at 65% here this evening. Last night, it was a full 100% fuel load, and the drivers were only going to be able to go about 30 to 33 laps then. Do the math at 65%. We're going to see a lot of pit stops here tonight. 100 laps the race distance. Stage break coming at lap 25, or at the conclusion of lap 25. Got Jerry Krause, we got Lindsay, we got Twisted Gaming, all in the stream chat already. Thanks for jumping in, guys. Sorry about the change last minute of the stream link. Had a little corruption issue with the stream key through Restream, but no worries. We got her back up and running again. Aaron Smith tops the charts at a 39.45. We thought 40s were fast last night. I think only the top 5 in the practice, at least, were below 40 seconds. Now it looks like in warm-up, almost the top 10 below 40 seconds. Chris Wally missing it by about 100th. So we got trouble out of turn 4 on this closing minute of the session. You thought you saw a lot of fuel savings last night. You're going to see a bunch more this evening. Brian McCann practicing that through turn 4 here in this warm-up again. Brian taking the checkered flag last night in the No Bull Racing Series here at Auto Club. Of course, during the day, that was another major difference. Just about to sunset here as warm-up comes to an end. The race will end under the lights. Warm-up complete. So with that, it's time to go racing, but before we can do that, let's go to our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 39.465 seconds, it's the 70 of Aaron Smith, and all he needs to do to lock up the title tonight is take the green flag. Outside front row, it's going to be the 4 of Jaden Hopp, missed it by 82 thousandths of a second. John Osborne, the 44, is going to roll from the third spot. Starting fourth, it's going to be William Tyndall, the number 62. Brandon Mefford, the 83, starts fifth. Brian McCann, the 3, will start in P6. Garrett Johnston, the number 32 from Charity Motorsports, will start 7th. Mike Cook, the 00, starting 8th. Trevor Quick in the 5. He'll start from the 9th position, and rounding out the top 10, it's the 12 of Timmy Schofield. Chris Wally, the 51, will start 11th. Josh Braley starts in the 12th spot. 13th starter, it's Rick Kelly. Larry Bruner starts 14th. 15th is Neil Quick. He was fast last night as well. Chris Mefford starting 16th. Doug Wysocki, the 34, starting 17th. And the 81 of Josh Funkhauser will start 18th. 19th starter, and last but not least on the field, it's the 22 of Matt Cobb. It's your starting grid here from Auto Club Speedway. Field beginning to leave pit lane right now. We should be green flag racing the next time by. Again, taking a look at the race details once again this evening. 74 degrees and cooling down. 57% humidity, clear skies, almost no breeze. Remember, we saw it as high as 15 miles per hour last evening. 2-mile racetrack, 76 degrees. The track temperature, I would expect that to cool off slightly more as the sun continues to set here. 65% fuel load and 2 sets of tires available over the wall. Thought strategy was coming into play last night. It's really going to be a topic of conversation this evening, especially when it comes to fuel. You'll see a lot of stops without tires. Be a big decision as to when these guys opt to take those sets of tires. Likely not to happen on that first stage. Maybe it will. It did last night. That was lap 30. Another point to note, as the green flag comes out, they do have one fast repair this evening, but green flag is in the air. And across the stripe goes Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith locking up the championship in the IROC Challenge Series simply by taking the green flag. We'll get a chance to talk to Aaron here during the stage break. We're not going to bug him in the race car as we run green. Lap 1 in the books. Aaron Smith leads him across the stripe. Aaron Smith getting out in a hurry. 1.3 seconds the advantage over now Brian McCann as he works to the outside of William Tyndall. Brandon Mefford taking a look to the inside on William Tyndall. Might have a position here. And there it is. You see the clutches going back in and the coast beginning down into the corner, trying to save some fuel. John Osborne closes the gap significantly. So does Neil Quick. Quick has to check up to avoid contact with the 44. Mefford jumped up the racetrack for a moment, seemingly to open the door for the 44 to go to the inside. Osborne chooses to stay behind the 83. Little stack up here into turn number 1, almost getting some drivers hung out there as well. Schofield up the racetrack. The 31 of Rick Kelly to the outside. The 28 rolling in, Josh Braley going to follow the 31. laps into the books here. Fast time for Aaron Smith, 40.73. The only driver to crack a 40 so far. We're not talking Old English. Neil Quick, Chris Wally, Tyndall 3 wide for a moment as Quick tucks in behind Osborne. Tyndall might have made some contact with Neil Quick there. If not, it was awful close. Oh, a little bit of contact there with the 32 and Neil Quick. That's Garrett Johnston to the inside. Quick seemingly on a mission here early on from Auto Club Speedway. And bear with us as some of these paint schemes are updating mid-race. Neil Quick now quickly into that second position. Brian McCann has slipped from that second spot back to P5. I don't know if this has just changed things up here. He had one strategy last night in the No Bull Racing Series. Again, they ran here at the same racetrack, same lap count and everything. 200 miles the race distance last night, 200 miles here tonight. Again, the only real difference is the amount of fuel they have on board and the time of day here at the racetrack. Doesn't sound like much, but that's pretty significant changes between time of day and amount of fuel on board. Time of day changes how fast you're going to be able to go around the racetrack. The amount of fuel, well, changes your strategy considerably. Meanwhile, Aaron Smith out in front, 3 seconds, the advantage over Neil Quick as Brian McCann has now slipped back to P6. That 6th position, but he's in danger of losing another spot to Garrett Johnston, the 32 machine just in behind. Brandon Mefford is in behind the 3 into turn number 3 as well. I just got to think here with the pace that Brian McCann had last night, he might be on a different strategy here, just trying to take care of his tires, take care of his stuff. Maybe just choosing not to take that first set of tires, at least on that first pit stop. Again, it's all conjecture here. We'll have to see how he plans this one the rest of the way. And many drivers, once again, already saving fuel. Now, Chris Wally has jumped up into the 2nd position as he gets around Neil Quick out of turn number 2. It's a drag race down the backstretch. No contest from the 2 of Quick. Last lap, Aaron Smith was a 40.95. Chris Wally was a 94. So some pretty quick lap times right now out of the 51, albeit Wally may have been able to utilize the draft there a bit. Aaron Smith out in clean air by himself, throwing down a 40.9. Checking on Jaden Hopp. Remember, he started outside front row. He's back to the 7th position, riding in behind the 32 with Johnston. Hopp already saving some fuel as well. Lift and coast into the corner. Rick Kelly maintaining the 10th position here. Might be going for more, looking for 9th. In fact, he's got it. Slipping back to the 10th spot is Brian McCann. Brian just doesn't seem to have the pace at this stage of the race, but again, very well could be all part of the plan. Then again, I don't know how much you want to change. He won the race last night. Chris Mefford has slipped back into the 19th position. He's still on the lead lap here. I just have to wonder if he's out there taking care of his stuff as well. The 46 machine tends to be pretty fast just about everywhere we go. Certainly not a last place machine, certainly not a last place driver. 42.23 the last lap for Chris Mefford, ironically his fastest of the day. Making a move to the inside on Matt Kopp. This for the 18th position, no longer the last place driver. Meanwhile, back out front, Aaron Smith way out in front, talking half a straightaway ahead of the 51 of Chris Wally. Well, Aaron Smith continues to lead. We've got to get 2 quick breaks out of the way. Here's the first one. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Auto Club Speedway, Aaron Smith continues to lead. A little bit of action changing here in the second position as John Osborne has taken over that spot from Chris Wally. Wally now back in P3. I don't know if Chris had an issue out on the racetrack, or if he's just that far off the pace, and it seems to be that far off the pace. Tyndall reeled in the 51 in a hurry out of turn number 4 and passed him like Wally was tied to a tree. Wally now back in the 4th position. Neil Quick has worked his way back into the top 5 after slipping back a bit. Brian McCann hanging on to the 9th spot. Jaden Hopp working his way towards the front. He's in the 5th position now. Takes that from Neil Quick. "16 laps in. I got to wonder if we're even going to make it to the stage before some of these drivers will need to peel off and hit pit lane for fuel." And 100% fuel load was about 33 laps or so last night. 65% this evening. They may not make it to 25 laps, but we'll see. William Tyndall running in the 3rd spot. Jaden Hopp now up to 4th. He's starting to put the pressure on here. I think Hopp was saving his stuff for the latter portion of this stage. Hopp now in the 3rd position, gets by Tyndall with ease. Remember, Hopp started outside front row, dropped back very quickly. Got that S4 guy in the chat. Super eco mode engaged. Yeah, no kidding. And as always, S4 guy, you know where to find us. Well, maybe you don't. Well, if you're interested, you know where to find us as far as the broadcast is concerned. John Osborne hanging tough there in the 2nd position, 6.5 seconds back from Aaron Smith. Aaron's just checking out. Last lap, a 41.26 out of the 70. Now just about a full straightaway ahead of John Osborne as he barrels into turns 3 and 4. No challengers for John Osborne, at least for the time being. Jaden Hopp a few seconds back, about 4 seconds to be specific, from John Osborne in that third position. Tyndall back to fourth, Wally fifth. Brian McCann working his way back towards the front. He's looking to the outside of the 51. Took care of his stuff for a while, and now it's time to go. Try to maximize those points. Again, Aaron Smith already locking up the championship here this evening. Brandon Mefford looking to the inside on the 51 here as well. Wally seemed to fire out of a cannon real early on here and just get going, get gone. He was fast. He was up to that second spot, but in that, he's going to wear those tires out sooner than the rest of these guys that have opted to kind of take her easy for the first 20 laps or so. Now as we get close to the end of the stage, which is again at the end of lap 25, those drivers that were free-falling early on are now starting to rise back to the top of the field. Lindsay in the stream chat says 1 or 2 more races after this. Well, the correct answer is both. We've got one more regular season race. That's going to be Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. And then following that, they're going to do the All-Star race. I'm not sure if they've announced what track it is yet, so I'll keep my lips tight. But effectively 2 more broadcasted events to cover for you guys and 1 regular season event. Chris Wally now back in the 10th position. Is he out of fuel? Wally doing some significant coasting. He might be concerned about fuel. He's been pushing very hard since the drop of the green flag. I don't know if he's going to make it back. As Aaron Smith hits pit road before the stage completes. Again, he doesn't need to worry about winning the stage. He's already locked up the championship. That's going to send John Osborne to the race lead. Now, Aaron Smith, this may not have been part of the plan. He's been out front in the race lead, not able to really run in the draft behind anybody to save fuel. It's going to be fuel only for the 70. Aaron Smith down and away, 11:37 the pit stop. So with that, though, it's going to put him the first car 1 lap down, I believe, unless he was that far out in front. He might be okay. In fact, it's hard to say if he's going to cycle to a lap down or not. He's last on the board for the time being. While Larry Bruner is going to roll down pit lane as well. And Bruner overshoots the box. Kelly's going to hit pit road as well. I don't know if this particular league shuts down pit lane or not right before the stage end, but we are on lap 25, so expect to see the yellow come out at any moment. Jaden Hopp, your race leader for the time being. Is he going to stay out on the racetrack, or is he going to try and pit before this yellow comes out? Hopp saving fuel down into turn 3. And there is the yellow flag. Yellow comes out. Jaden Hopp, your stage winner. Some drivers ducking down pit lane regardless of whether or not it's open or not. Likely to get a penalty for it, but if you're out of fuel, you're out of fuel. Speaking of out of fuel, Jaden Hopp, he wins the stage, but he is running on fumes, folks. He's down to the apron. Hopefully he can make her back to pit lane here. Granted, it may not be open when he gets there. Yeah, Jaden Hopp's struggling here to get down pit lane. Good qualifying run, too. That's going to put him all the way to the end of pit road. Just hope for Jaden's sake he can make it there. I think he's going to be okay. He's not moving terribly slow. 43, 42 mile an hour. He's just coasting at this point. And he makes it to the box clean. Fuel only for the 4. Stretched it all the way to it. But with all that said, let's try and get a word here with Aaron Smith. Pull Aaron into the broadcast booth here. Aaron Smith, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got us?
Yeah, I've got you.
Aaron, congratulations on winning the IROC Challenge Series Championship here. A race early. All you had to do was take the green flag here tonight, man. Tell us how you feel.
Yeah, it feels great. We're off to a pretty good start tonight as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the race goes. But as far as the championship's concerned, I'm pretty happy with it.
See you coming down pit lane here. You stopped just before the stage. Were you running out of fuel? Was that kind of a requirement?
Yeah, I knew we weren't going to have enough to account for the extra lap under caution, because I knew that the field was spread out so far among the top 10 that they would need to take that extra lap to catch the pace car. So I was able to pass a bunch of guys under caution there, gained about 10 spots. And now I'm going to only have to take about 3 gallons to fill the car up. So I might get out of here first. You never know.
Let you come to
well for me.
Yeah, just wanted you to come to a stop in your box before we interrupted you once again. I know you said it was okay to bug you, but we don't want to cause any problems. Granted, championship already locked up. What do you think here tonight? Can you hold off these guys? Can you put that 70 back in the wind and take the race lead and maybe another win?
Well, if they figured out the fuel situation by now, I think it'll be a pretty challenging race to the end, but only time will tell. I'm feeling pretty good right now with the car. The tires held up well. I only lost about 10% on both the right sides this last run, so if we can keep that up over the course of the race, I should have a pretty good shot at it.
All right, Aaron. Do you have a channel preference before I dump you back down? You were all by yourself.
Yeah, I think it was channel 7 or 17. I'm not sure. Whichever one doesn't have people in it.
We're going to 7. It's empty. Thanks for talking to us, Aaron. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Aaron Smith, your series champion here, locking it up a race early. Again, point standings coming into tonight. Well, we wanted to show them, but maybe we still can. Hang on. Been having some issues this evening. And there they are. So Aaron Smith with a pretty significant lead coming into tonight. Jaden Hopp in the second position. He's actually got a decent amount over Brian McCann as well. With that battle certainly not over. A lot can change here tonight, and a lot can change certainly next week at Atlanta. Neil Quick is 4th, Brandon Mefford 5th. Top 4 drivers certainly very close together. A lot can go on there. Then Mefford down to John Osborne. Those guys are all within striking distance of each other, and then you see it all the way back to Larry Bruner in 18th. So, pace car lights are off, so the stage is over. We'll go back green flag racing the next time by. Looks like Aaron Smith's going to restart to the outside of Brian McCann. And I think Aaron has cycled back to the race lead here, was very wise in his strategy, knowing he was going to need to take that extra lap. Didn't want to worry about incurring any penalties to pit with the pits closed, so he came a little bit early. got his fuel to make it to the end, stayed on the lead lap, and then just a quick splash and go during the caution gets him back out there. Certainly not done pitting this evening by any means, but tires to be had for a lot of drivers. I think Mike Cook may have taken a set on his pit stop. Only driver with a pit stop about 14:07. Rick Kelly, Josh Braley laps down. They may have also taken tires just based on how much time they spent in the pits, but no cautions for cause to this point. This is our first and only caution up into this point of the race here for the stage as the pace car pulls left down pit lane. We're going to go back green flag racing. Barney with the green, and they're going to go one more lap trying to get the field formed up behind. The pace car ducked down. We were ready for a restart, but lap 30 is going to go up on the board, and we're going to give it another go. Bunch of stragglers back there. So the pace car is going to roll back out, pick up the field likely out of turn number 2 here. We should be green flag racing the next time by. Field looking a little bit more organized, but you see how many drivers were penalized as we got a pretty significant single file line to the inside. Only a few drivers doubled up first few rows. Everybody else behind likely getting a penalty for their early pit stops. But here we are. We're going to try it again here. 70 laps to go from Auto Club Speedway.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air, and we're back racing. Brian McCann quickly on the attack, takes over the top spot out of turn number 2, put the 3 in the wind, back out front here at Auto Club Speedway. He's got some work to do here if he's going to hold off that number 70 of Aaron Smith. Aaron went after it early, put about a 4-second advantage over the rest of the field in that first stage, having to pit with just a couple of laps remaining in it. Back to the stripe, lap 32 goes up on the board. McCann, Smith, Johnston, Brandon Mefford, Neil Quick, your top 5. Then Chris Mefford, Matt Kopp, just Josh Funkhauser, William Tyndall, Trevor Quick, the balance of the top 10. And just like that, already back to fuel save mode. It's about what it's going to sound like when we switch to these hybrid systems. Real loud to super quiet. Meanwhile, battle for the second spot. Neil Quick takes it over from Aaron Smith. But again, strategies abound. We saw it early on in that first stage. Brian McCann slipped all the way back to about the 11th position, and it wasn't until late in the stage that the 3 started to power back towards the front of the field. Starting to think that might be the situation here with the 70 of Aaron Smith, taking care of his stuff, saving some fuel, extending that run, that fuel window, making it later and later, if at all possible. with all that, the 19th place machine of the number 28, Josh Braley, last on the racetrack for the time being, but just set the fastest lap of the race, 40.33 for the number 28 machine. Again, you see him there just about the tail of the field, able to pick up a significant draft off a pack of cars. Lindsay MW in the chat. Hybrid is not my jam, nor are the EV cars. Yeah, I'm totally with you. Granted, if you want to be technical, all of these cars are EV right now. You know, it's a computer game. I know, I said it out loud. I'm sorry. Chris Wally to the outside of Matt Kopp takes that spot with ease. Jaden Hopp running back in the 13th spot. Going to try and pick up a couple of positions here down into turn one. Kopp in the middle. Hopp on the bottom. 00 Mike Cook was up top side. Still the case, 3 wide here out of turn number 2. Hopp on the bottom, Cook. No, it was Kopp. I'm trying. Some names are just hard to say together. Jaden Hobb now battling with the 28 of Josh Braley. Braley's still in 18th. First car 1 lap down for now. Rick Kelly 19th, 1 lap down. Just like that, Neil Quick takes over the top spot from Brian McCann. We're back watching the back of the pack, and the lead changed hands. Let's go back and look at it here. This is the pass for the race lead. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Quick had a huge run, dives it down to the bottom of the racetrack. McCann tried to pin it on the right rear of the 2, but decided against it, let him go. And there you have it. Neil Quick, new leader. Lindsay says, reality is where I'm putting my eggs. I need fuel and horsepower, not more batteries than necessary. Totally with you. Meanwhile, battle for the second spot. Chris Mefford to the inside of Brian McCann. McCann slipping back to P3. I think conservation mode kicking in now for Brian once again as we approach lap 40 here the next time by. No real dominance in this portion of the second stage, at least at this point. Neil Quick, he's out to about a 0.4 of a second advantage over Chris Mefford, but that even it is shrinking. The 46 reeling in the 2 off of turn number 4. Kevin McCann, Aaron Smith, Josh Funkhauser, the top 5. McCann unchallenged for now. Aaron Smith, same thing. Funkhauser starting to close in. Funkhauser's got to worry about Garrett Johnston, though. He's all over, but Aaron Smith now is taking a look to the inside on Brian McCann. That's the thing about Aaron Smith. He's dangerous everywhere you go as far as being a threat to win these races, but you take out the pressure of a championship run, having to worry about points. He can just go out here and throw all caution to the wind and just go for it. The next 2 races, tonight and next week in Atlanta. Chris Wally up top side here was battling with the 32 and Johnston, but now he's working on the outside of Josh Funkhauser. Tucks back in behind the 81 for the time being. We'll see if he can build a run with a little bit of a slipstream down the backstretch. No room to dump down in front of the 32, or is there? There is. Wally stays tucked in behind Funkhauser through turns 3 and 4. Johnston all over the back bumper of Chris Wally. Fuel save and everything. Picks up the throttle. You see, as soon as he's back in the gas, he starts putting a right turn, and the caution is out.
Get yourself something to drink. Do a deep breath.
Chris Mefford, I think, involved in this. Yes, indeed. Spins on turn number 2, it looks. Well, let's see what happened to the 46 here. Again, he was up towards the front of the field battling for the race lead, and Neil Quick just slips up the racetrack, gets into the left rear of the 46. I almost got to wonder if there's more to the story than that. We're going to rewind this here and see how the 46 got underneath of Neil Quick here. So go back to start-finish. This is just a moment ago. Neil Quick was with the race lead. Chris Mefford in behind. Dove it down to the bottom. I don't think there was any contact there. Back it up further again. I'm going to try and catch this from a different angle and see if there was any contact. It didn't look like there was. See the closing rate. I don't know if Neil just checked up sooner than Chris had planned, but the 46 able to get to the bottom of the racetrack without making contact. And then we'll go back full speed here on the roof cam of Neil Quick. There you have it. Pit stop's underway here under caution. Lap 44. It was about time. Might see some guys opt for tires in this stage. Aaron Smith, not one of them. So William Tyndall stays on the racetrack. He does not come down for service, fuel, or tires. His pit stop coming at lap 28. Might see him opt to come down this time. This could have been just a, I need to get a lap lead here. Let's try to get some bonus points. So Tyndall stays out still, so he's going to be the race leader when we go back green flag racing. Aaron Smith's going to restart to his outside, it appears. Which honestly is, Aaron Smith was the race leader at our last restart. He opted for the high side. See if we can get everybody lined back up here before we get back to start finish. So we may need to go another lap. Neil Quick rolling on the bottom of the racetrack here. I'm not sure if he's taking an EOL for that contact. Certainly wasn't intentional from what we could see. But I don't know if the admins are really gauging intent here. It's just who's at fault and who's not. Quick lost the nose, slid up into the 46, and around he went. Pace car pulls down pit lane.
Green flag.
And green flag in the air. We're back racing from Auto Club Speedway. Down the back straightaway, Brian McCann up into the second spot, now only a quarter second behind the 70 of Aaron Smith. William Tyndall unable to maintain pace on the restart with the older tires. Brian McCann taking a set. He's going to reel in Aaron Smith in a hurry. Smith trying to cheat up the racetrack, but not fast enough. Brian McCann to the outside at the stripe. Aaron Smith's going to lead the lap. High, wide, and handsome goes the number 3 around Aaron Smith into turns 1 and 2. Lap 47, Brian McCann back to the point. Brandon Mefford starting to reel in the 70 as well. Now, Mefford, I don't think, is in a tire advantage over the 70 right now. They both had a very similar pit stop. And Brian McCann goes fast lap of the race, 40.11 the time. Mefford steps to the inside of Aaron Smith down the back straightaway. May have a possible move here for the second spot. Gets clear before he even gets down to the apex. Mefford sliding up the racetrack. Aaron Smith still on the attack, trying to take the position back. Gets alongside for just a moment, but Brandon Mefford shuts the door. Garrett Johnson closing in the 4th position. Jaden Hopp running 5th.
Caution, caution.
And a caution is out.
How's your forward drive there?
2 cars in the wall, Trevor Quick being one of them. Maybe Matt Kopp. Couldn't tell the other driver. Trevor Quick still trying to get righted here. Well, let's get a look at it. Oh, yeah. Oh, big time impact. Trevor Quick. That was much worse than we initially had thought. Quick up and over for just a brief moment. Now from the blimp. I think Quick saw Neil Quick coming up and was trying to cheat up the racetrack to give him a little bit more room, but didn't realize the 22 of Matt Kopp was right there to his right rear. Sends the 5 pretty hard into the outside wall and then sliding along the safer barrier on its roof. The 35 of Larry Bruner coming in and finishing off the 5, at least getting him righted back on all 4 wheels, or at least however many are left on the car. Now, the good news is, and I don't know if these guys are going to remember this or not. Well, for a minute, my eyes were playing tricks on me. I thought he was going the wrong way. They do have 1 fast repair to use if they so choose to use it. Trevor Quick not out of this yet. His pit stop's underway once again. I think we'll see some tires being changed here, but not many. Brian McCann made his pit stop the last caution. He took his tire, so he should be a splash and go for sure. In the box, stays on the jack. Johnson has to back it up a little too far in the stall, and out he goes. Brian McCann down and away. A very short pit stop. Aaron Smith finishing up his 4-tire change. So he's going to be a little bit faster out of the gate compared to those guys that made their tire change the last caution. It wasn't that long ago, but it was long enough. So Josh Braley stays out on the racetrack. Remember, he was 19th, one lap down not very long ago, and here he is now leading this race. Lindsay says, let's talk about cautions breeding cautions. I have someone needing this explanation. All right, so cautions breeding cautions. Well, what happens when the yellow comes out? Everybody slows down. Everybody gets close together. Bunches the field up, 2 by 2, getting ready to go back racing. Well, you're closer to everybody. It increases the likelihood of contact, and there you have it. You have contact at speed, cold tires in a lot of cases, or just old tires in some cases. Chances of a caution after a caution are always higher than after, say, 20 laps under the green flag. Especially at a place like California Speedway, or Auto Club as they call it now. 2-mile racetrack, you've got room to spread out. We don't have a 40-car field here tonight, so it's 19 cars. So big racetrack, smaller field. Once you get spread out, the likelihood of having a major incident goes down. However, when the caution's out, everybody gets bunched up. Danger level goes up. Aaron Smith opting for a second pit stop here to top off the fuel. Again, we talked about being at only a 65% capacity here on this 2-mile oval. Every drop counts. So the pace car lights are out. We plan to get the green flag this time by. It'll be lap 53. But with those making that extra pit stop, we may go an extra lap. We'll see. Again, only the first 2 rows are double file for the time being. We'll see if that remains the case. Field out of turn 4. Barney's ready to wave the green. Unless they wave this one off, we'll see. Pace car does take the hard left. Early on, they went an extra lap. Still trying to get caught up.
Green flag.
And the green comes out. We're back racing. Brian McCann getting the jump over the 51 of Chris Wally. Already, Brian McCann lift and coast into turn 3. Battle for the 4 spot. Mike Cook to the bottom of the 00, trying to take it away from Garrett Johnston. Johnston battling back around the outside out of turn number 2. Will have the run and carry that momentum down the straightaway. Plus, he's got the car of Chris Mefford just ahead here. He's going to pull some draft off the 46. Mike Cook has to tuck in behind Johnston into turn 3. Tim Schofield in the 12, bottom side on the 00 out of turn 4. He's going to try and pick up this spot too. Schofield on the charge here. Now he's to the inside of Garrett Johnston. Schofield now up to P4. Might not have the 32 clear off turn number 4, and he is cleared. Not by much, but Johnston trying to cross over. Bruner, I don't know if he just got loose or there was contact, but nevertheless, everybody stays facing the right direction. We continue on. Schofield driving it down low to the inside of Chris Mefford now. This would be for the third spot. Schofield with ease takes it away. I got to wonder if the 12 took tires on the previous caution, not the most recent one, because he's very fast right out of the box. Meanwhile, we got a battle for the race lead. Chris Wally with a run to the outside on Brian McCann. A little wiggle off of 4. Creeps up the racetrack to continue that momentum and not scrub the speed. At the stripe, hard to say who it was. It might have been Wally. A little bit of contact. Brian McCann slips up the racetrack, almost makes contact with the 51. If they didn't, man, I don't know how much closer you can get. Back at the line, Chris Wally with the race lead here. 58 laps on the board. We are going to take our first side-by-side break presented by HBR TV. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Out. Do you see the pit sign now, or is it get more acclimated to it, or is it still difficult?
Back at Auto Club Speedway, Neil Quick involved in our fourth caution of the evening. Also want to make note that S4 guy, Zach Millett, in the broadcast booth with us. Zach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Steve, man, good to be here.
Let's see what happened here with the two of Neil Quick. Puts us under our fourth yellow of the evening. A little bit late. Oh, a couple of big-time drivers in it, and big-time impact. Brandon Mefford Let's back it up and really unpack this, see how this one happened. Oh, man, that's the second Mefford Quick's run into tonight. Watching the replay here, Brandon Mefford, the 83, the 2 of Neil Quick. Looks like getting into turn 3. Now, remember early on, Neil Quick lost the nose and got into the 46 of Chris Mefford and sent him around. And I don't know what the circumstances are here, but it almost looks like, I don't know, Zach. It looks like Neil just drove right up the back of the 83 there. I don't know if there is an incident that precipitated this.
And I don't know if Neil's maybe trying to get out of buying Christmas cards for the Medford location this year or what. But there could have been a checkup there. I don't know. We should watch it at real speed, see what it looks like.
I'm going to ride on board with Neil Quick. I got to rewind it because the caution came out late here. On board with Neil Quick, full speed.
Ooh, well, it doesn't look any better, Steve.
So, to give a little bit more of a storyline here, we'll get rid of the driver name bar here as we rewind this. They're obviously trying to save fuel. Listen closely. That car is off. And it stays off. So I don't know if Neil was starting to run out of fuel or what the scenario was, if he was just really trying to maximize his fuel save, but nevertheless, he drives into the back of the 83.
Yeah, something definitely happened there. Neil's definitely not the type of driver to run into anybody on purpose, unless maybe it's deserved, but yeah, I can't see Neil doing that on purpose ever.
You know, I know Neil's been a little frustrated with this season, just trying to steal a win or two from Aaron Smith, but I can't see him taking out. The only reason it makes me wonder is because it's both Meffords. I don't know if there's something going on there. I don't want to stir up anything if there's nothing really happening, but Neil Quick is too good. That does not usually happen.
Yeah, that's just it. He is too good of a driver for something like that to just randomly happen.
So Mefford's still in the pits. Again, luckily, this particular race, they were all given one fast repair to work with. So Mefford's going to go back out. I don't know if he's going to maintain lead lap status here or not. Chris Wally, your race leader here as we get ready to go back. Green flag racing. William Tyndall to the outside. Those drivers making their pit stops at lap 50 and then 51 respectively. We're right about lap 63 right now. Just about everybody behind these guys opted to hit pit lane with the exception of maybe Trevor Quick. Everybody else went in for at least fuel. There might be a couple of drivers that took tires. Well, honestly, it's going to be their last set if that was the case because they only had 2 to work with tonight. Again, Zach, you ran the Noble Racing Series event here last night. 100% fuel was the allotment tonight, 65%.
That's a different game right there, Steve. No wonder these guys were shutting it off all the time.
Well, I mean, they're saving fuel right after the restart. Into turn 3, they're already checking up, clutching it. Again, those of you just joining us, Aaron Smith locking up the IROC Challenge Series Championship here simply by taking the green flag here tonight. Trying to pick up win number 12 on the season. Now remember, Brian McCann picked up the win last night here at Auto Club in the Noble Racing Series. The reason that's relevant is it was in the same style race car. The only difference was it's during the day and they had more fuel. Other than that, things are about the same. Of course, he didn't have to worry about Aaron Smith last night, but he's right there on his tail.
Yeah, that is for sure. He was fast. Big congrats to him for the championship. That's great.
Trevor Quick dive into the inside, taking over the race lead from Chris Wally. And I think Quick may have taken tires previous to his incident. It's only a 5.7 second stop most recently. That was at lap 51. Quick getting on here in the race lead, but the battle for the second spot between Chris Wally and Aaron Smith. Right rear steps out just a bit on the 70. Down the back straightaway alongside Chris Wally. Still the drag race into 3. On board with Aaron Smith, looking out the right window. Almost contact, that was close. We talked about it early on in the race, how Aaron Smith locking up the championship early on tonight makes him that much more dangerous. Doesn't need to worry about points, doesn't need to be that careful, can simply just go out there and chase the checkered flag.
Yeah, this is about as fun as it could get for Aaron Smith. He could just kind of go for it.
And it's kind of going to be the same thing next week at Atlanta. He doesn't need to worry about it. He can just go for it. Next week's Atlanta race will be at the new layout, so that's gonna race much like a super speedway. So that's gonna be an exciting one to watch. If you're looking for a race to watch, that's gonna be the one to tune in for.
Yeah, especially with these cars and how they line up and they tend to lift the end of the car up with any kind of contact. That'll be something. Boy, what a gaggle of cars here. I think it's time to go.
31 laps to go here from Auto Club Speedway. Trevor Quick still with the race lead. Garrett Johnston powering his way to the front here with his fresh tires picked up at lap 62. One car in the wall. Chris Wally scrapes the back straightaway. It was safer barrier. Don't know if he was forced into it or if he caught the wall magnet. Took a hard left in front of traffic. Luckily wasn't collected by anybody. We stay under the green flag.
Boy, good piece of driving by Chris there to keep that thing going straight.
Woo. Meanwhile, Garrett Johnston, your new race leader over Trevor Quick now. Aaron Smith changing up his line. He's way up the racetrack. A lot of drivers talking about last night. We talked to them post-race how they thought that top line was going to be the place to be fast, but it just didn't happen last night. Aaron Smith, it's the first time we've really seen him work that high line. We'll see if this pays off for him or not. Chris Mefford, though, on a charge on the bottom of the racetrack. He's also got some fresh rubber underneath him, so he's going to be powering to the front here. In the 4th position for now, he's got Jaden Hopp just ahead of him. Johnson really checking out here over Aaron Smith. Aaron now into that 2nd position with no challengers really out the back bumper. He can just focus on running his line here, try to reel in the race leader. Jaden Hopp's going to need to try and hold off a hard-charging Chris Mefford. Hopp not on new tires. It's going to be hard to guard the 46.
I think all these guys that haven't taken tires yet, they're just going to completely send it until it's time to come in and then take that final sprint with some new tires.
I mean, looking at it, too, I know they've had to make a lot of pit stops for fuel, but they only had 2 sets over the wall, just like they had last night. They may not have tires to take at this point. The least number of pit stops I've seen out of anybody is 4 this evening. The most I've seen is 7, and that's Tim Schofield and Doug Wysocki. And we still got more than 25 laps to go.
Boy.
So your top 5, it's Garrett Johnston, Aaron Smith, Chris Mefford, Jaden Hopp, John Osborne for now. Chris Mefford taking a position from Aaron Smith as he utilizes those fresh tires. I mean, Zach, we talked a little bit last night. I mean, what was really kind of the strategy in the No Bowl Series race last night? Same lap count, but again, different fuel on board. We had a full load last night, 65% tonight. What does that do to these drivers as far as making a plan? I mean, you as a driver, knowing that you're coming into tonight with far less fuel than you had yesterday, what do you do differently?
Yeah, I mean, fuel is everything. You know, if you don't have enough fuel to make it, then nothing else matters. You know, so first and foremost, you got to make it to the end, or in this case, where we are right now, at least a one-stop race. And tires, I mean, tires are kind of the same thing. I'm watching Aaron Smith go around this, and I don't think he's pushing all the way. I think he's kind of in management mode. So, I don't know. I think there's enough laps right now left that we're going to see that kind of shine through here at the end.
Well, remember our first stage was lap 25, and there was guys running out on the final lap, running out once the yellow came out. I would say better than 2/3 of the field made an illegal pit stop just so they didn't run out on the racetrack. I'd say give it another lap or two, and you may see some guys that maybe don't have any tires left opt to make that pit stop sooner than later, knowing that they can make it to the end. Granted, if we do get a late caution, they'd probably be euchred for a green-white checkered, so maybe they go an extra 5 just to be safe.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do, Steve. I think I'd go at least, maybe 3 or 4 laps if possible, just to get that little cushion for a green-white checkered.
Johnston out to a 2.5 lead over the 46 of Chris Mefford. Aaron Smith running in the 3rd spot, almost 3/4 of a second off the back bumper of Chris Mefford. Jaden Hopp tucked in right behind his teammate, a couple of car lengths. And then Mike Cook running 5th. Chris Wally has hit pit lane. I don't know if this was a plan for fuel. He's taking tires. Chris Wally still with a set over the wall. He was having a strong run here late, and he's going to have a stronger one, knowing he's the first car to pit last. I know I say that all the time here at HBR TV. It's the old road course method, but when it comes down to that final stop of the race, especially on limited tire sets, Chris Wally may be in position for a solid finish here if this runs green all the way to the end.
And if he can stay in that lucky dog position, a caution coming out right now, he would be golden.
Really begs the question, though, who else has tires?
And there's got to be somebody. There has to be somebody with a set.
I tell you, that's one thing I wish that SDK and iRacing could figure out. SDK being the company that provides our overlays here, timing tower and such, and some of the background data that we use as broadcasters. I wish they were able to tell us how many tire sets are still available. We haven't gotten there yet, but maybe someday.
Well, it'd be great on the broadcast side of things, but boy, let me tell you, being behind the wheel and kind of seeing what everybody else has got, that'd be pretty fantastic too.
See, that's probably the problem, though. That might be why they don't do it, because I don't know if they make that information available to the broadcast, I don't know how they could not make it available to the driver.
Honestly, it'd be a little too much information. It'd take away from the experience, I think, a little bit.
But at the same token, does it? Because your crew chief, if you have one in real life, they're going to know, hey, so-and-so in the 32 of Garrett Johnson, he doesn't have any tires left. He's done. We got an extra set. We're golden. Those guys pay attention to that stuff. And as a race driver, if you're playing crew chief and driver at the same time as Neil Quick finishes up his stop with 4 tires, you got to make those decisions all on your own as a driver, unless you're lucky enough to have a spotter or a crew chief watching for you.
Yeah, one of these big teams, you got like 20 different guys watching a bunch of other teams seeing what they're doing.
Yeah, you got a spotter, you got camera guys, you're not even kidding. There could be 10, 20 people watching out for this, that, or the other.
So this is the benefit too, Steve, of Chris Wally coming in when he did. He is the first car a lap down right now. Actually, as we hit pit road here, he's not. But I think when the cycle gets done and through, he will be. So if a caution did come out, he's going to be the benefactor there.
I mean, honestly, I think when the cycle's over with, I think he'll be back in the lead lap because all these guys are going to need to make one more stop to make it to the end. Osborne, the first car, 1 lap down in 12th. Let's see, where's Wally? Back in 14th. He needs to pass a couple of cars or let the cycle finish out. Oh, Neil Quick. Did he get too fast exiting?
It's either a speeding penalty or maybe an unsafe exit. I don't know. Oh, he's going to exit out.
Yeah, he already did. He's gone out of the session. So unfortunately for the two of Neil Quick, had a fast race car. He was quick last night as well. Possibly a mistake on pit exit. I don't know if it was speeding on exit or unsafe exit. Lead line violation. Nevertheless, he had to come down pit road to serve that and just says, you know what? Never mind. I'm out of here. Just don't think he'd have anything to gain at this point. It's late in the race, and here comes Garrett Johnston from the race lead. Chris Mefford's going to inherit the top spot here. 19 laps to go. Again, just about everybody, I think everybody that hasn't recently pit will need to make one more stop before this one's over. So let's see if Johnston had any tires left or if this is just a splash and go. And he's got tires too. I'm really impressed here. I really thought a lot of guys took their tires early on based on where they were running on the racetrack, but so far they must have managed it well. Johnston looks like right sides only. Chris Mefford the same. He's down pit road as well as Aaron Smith from the top 2 spots. Now Jaden Hopp with 17 to go takes over the race lead. That's the question. Can the 4 of Jaden Hopp finally get to victory lane this season? About to buy that kid a bridesmaid dress.
Yeah, he's been close all year long, that's for sure.
He's been so stupid fast, and unfortunately, and it's great for Aaron Smith, but tough break for the 4 having to run in this league with Aaron Smith because he'd be dominant without the 70 around. Mefford down and away, 4 tires and fuel. Jaden Hopp, Mike Cook also in pit lane. Now Chris Wally back on the lead lap. Trevor Quick also in 12th on the lead lap. And there it is. You see in the timing tower, those 1 laps are switching over to numbers. That's a positive thing. William Tyndall, Kelly, Funkhauser, Bruner now the top 17, all on the lead lap. Braley running 1 lap down, 18th. Jaden Hopp can take tires as well. Go ahead, Zach.
Just a perfect entry into the box, too, by Hopp. Just slid it right in there perfectly.
You see both those guys, him and Aaron Smith alike, doing the same throughout the course of the season. He's down and away. Jaden Hopp, 14.47 second stop. That's fast for 4 tires.
It's always tough coming out behind somebody this close on the exit.
Yeah, and Jaden could probably push a lot harder than he is. It's costing him time right now, and he's frustrated, I'm sure. I don't know if he left that blend line a little too early. That might have been close.
Yeah, that camera angle didn't help the look of it. I don't know. We'll know soon. Boy, that would just be devastating. I don't want to see that. I would hate to see that.
He's in a good position here if that's the case. So race lead, Osborne with it, Johnston battling for it. Remember, Johnston made a pit stop, so this is for position. Lindsay in the stream chat, they always finish P1 and P2. This season has been a bit different. Love them both. Talking about Aaron Smith and Jaden Hopp. Jaden doesn't win tonight. He better wreck Aaron at Atlanta. And man, we've got 2 really fast laps. The fastest laps of the race just happening. Aaron Smith running a 39.71. Chris Mefford a 39.89.
Boy, that is ripping.
And they do it again. 39.69 for Jaden Hopp. A 74 for Aaron Smith and an 86 for Mefford.
This is where it's fun, Steve. You know, you got 14, 15 laps on a new set of tires. You can push. You can push start to finish. This is where you're going to make up some time. It's really fun.
The other thing is, too, they know they don't need to save anymore, so it's go time.
Look how close everybody is, you know? Jaden Hopp down there in 7th place. He's under 5 seconds to the lead.
He's got time. And as we were talking last night, we never got it, but a caution would change everything.
Yeah, I would have been a big fan of that caution coming out last night. I was kind of hoping and praying for it, but no dice.
There's your top 5 right now as they run. Osborne, Johnston, McCann, Mefford, and Smith. Sounds like one hell of a law firm.
Yes, it does.
13 laps to go from Auto Club Speedway. We continue to watch the battle for the 4th spot. Chris Mefford's got it for the time being, but Aaron Smith hounding the 46 into turn number 1. Both of these drivers making their pit stop on the same lap. Both drivers taking 4 tires. Both drivers with almost identical pit lane times down to the 100th and about a half-tenth different in pit stop time. You want good competition? Come over here to the IROC Challenge Series or Noble Racing. 2 of the best series out here as far as fast drivers are concerned with difficult cars to drive. This Gen 4 Cup car is certainly a handful. These guys know how to get it done. I know I do an awful lot of talking about Noble Racing Series when we're covering these IROC races, but that Noble field is about 1/3 IROC drivers.
Yeah, it really is. I've been wanting to run IROC for like a year now, and it just seems like the schedules haven't, completely lined up for me. But it's great practice getting out there on Sunday nights and running with these guys. These guys are wicked fast.
Chris Mefford has caught Brian McCann and Johnston. He's going to get 2 for 1 here into turn 1. 3 wide.
Ooh, Aaron Smith
wide.
on that Larson line. Let's go. Beautiful.
What's the... Where are we? Knoxville? Oh, trouble. Johnston in the fence.
Hang on to her.
Straightens it out. We stay under green. 10 laps to go. Chris Mefford now to the bottom on Brian McCann. McCann losing some pace, and Aaron Smith now to the race lead, or battling for it at least, off turn 4. John Osborne with the lead still at the stripe, but hard charging Aaron Smith with 9 laps to go has caught him. He's got 4 lap newer tires than the 44.
4 lap newer tires at Auto Club, Steve. It's just a matter of time. And not much time. There he goes.
Aaron Smith back to the point. Osborne second. Chris Mefford, Brian McCann the top 4. We lost Garrett Johnson. He's in pit lane. Osborne's going to lose the 2nd spot to Mefford, possibly 3rd here in just a moment with Brian McCann charging. Tires was the call. The top 6 all on fresh rubber. Osborne still hanging tough in the 3rd position ahead of Brian McCann. McCann gets to the inside of the 44. Osborne battling back. Brian just not able to do anything with him, at least for now. Jaden Hopp running in the 5th spot. Going to start closing in on Brian McCann, but with 7 laps to go, I think his hopes for a race win here, at least at Auto Club, starting to go up in smoke.
See how hard it is to pass when you're up behind somebody like that. You basically just got to run where they're not.
See, the problem for Brian McCann is that battle with the 44 of Osborne has allowed Jaden Hopp to really close the gap. Now he's certainly there close enough to snip the draft off Brian McCann. Hopp down low. Hop alongside both of these drivers. Go ahead, Zach.
I'm getting deja vu from Noble Stage 1 last night. Holy cow.
Caution.
And the caution comes out with 5.5 laps to
Status
go.
on your car there.
Oh boy.
William Tyndall in trouble. Oh, Funkhauser comes in late and just pile drives the driver's door, the 62. The caution was out for a while, and I don't know if Funkhauser just didn't notice.
Oh, might not be over.
Oh, big time damage for the 62. Trevor Quick was involved in this as well. Talk about dog tracking. Tyndall in trouble.
Yeah, it'll buff out, Steve. That's fine. Look at the angle on that.
I got it.
Formula drift.
I got to give him credit. That thing's got to be a bear to drive.
I mean, I'm just surprised he's conscious in the first place.
I'm surprised he's not in a helicopter already.
Yeah, at least a broken wrist from the direct drive.
Talk about drifting. He's staying out, isn't he?
Hell yeah, he is. This is
Unless he's
pretty
angry
sweet.
with somebody.
Oh, I'm excited about this.
He's moving pretty good. He might be coming back for somebody. We'll go look at the replay here in a minute. He might be head hunting.
Getting to the end of the season here, Steve. This is where all the care is going to go out the window.
And he gets into the fence off of 2 again.
Oh, hang on to her.
Oh, and it's
Oh. Yeah? Yep. Good run.
Trevor Quick makes it to pit lane. Curious what the 62 is trying to do here, if he's just trying not to catch a penalty. I mean, the car is obviously drivable and certainly not competitive the way that it is, but
Yeah, he's just going to get down here, get that quick repair fixed up here, and good to go, hopefully. Look at that thing.
I've never seen one so hung out unintentionally before. He can't keep it off the wall.
I want to see him pull into the box here. I mean, it's hard enough with a straight race car.
That thing's bent. There's no way. I don't think he can get it in the box. We'll see.
If he turns left and does a 180 and lands in his box backwards, I'll PayPal him $50.
No, he gets it into the pit stall. Does he have
Look
a
at
fast?
that.
And there's the fast repair. He's not out of this yet.
Boy, that looks way better. Now we know why he was getting around so fast. Just wanted to stay on that lead lap. Yeah,
Dedication.
it's not over.
All right. Well, let's get a look at this here and see exactly how this one happened. Was it by himself? He gets drilled in a minute here, but I think he lost it all on his own. Did he get the wall? He just lost it on his own.
Huh.
Oh, big time hit from Trevor Quick.
No, just keeps happening.
I mean, 2 things. 1, hold the brake. 2, when the caution's out, slow down.
Yeah, you're not gaining anything at that point anyway, so you might as well try to survive. But this is a huge break for Jaden Hopp. This might be exactly what he was looking for.
So Aaron Smith and it looks to be, I think it's John Osborne or Chris Mefford. I can't tell from this angle right now. Yeah, so it's going to be Aaron Smith going to restart the outside, choosing the outside lane. Chris Mefford down low. Those drivers both making their pit stop at lap 83 for 4 tires. John Osborne was 79 for 4 tires. Jaden Hopp was also 4 tires, but 1 lap later. Hop has the freshest rubber within the top 5. Like Cook in the 7th spot. He took rights only. Opportunity knocks. We'll see if the 4 can cash in.
That's what he needed.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Aaron Smith, a good jump.
Oh, huge jump. That was a heck of a start.
Good reaction out of the 46 of Chris Mefford, though. Only about a 0.2 of a second gap between him and Aaron Smith. But Jaden Hopp up to 3rd with a run out of turn number 2. He's all over the back bumper, dives to the inside. Got ourselves a natural green-white checkered here. Aaron Smith with the race lead. Jaden Hopp making a run to the outside on Chris Mefford. He's there. Nope. Slams the door, does the 46. Crossover move from the 4 at the stripe. White flag in the air. Final lap from Auto Club Speedway. We watch the battle for the 2nd spot. And if Jaden Hopp can get clear, and he does, is he going to have anything for Aaron Smith into turn 3 as he slides up the racetrack?
Gonna need a heck of a run off here.
Aaron Smith drops it down, trying to break the draft just a bit. Jaden Hopp, he's going to have the grip into turn 3. I don't know if he's close enough. Out of turn number 4, Aaron Smith going to cash in, make it win number 12 to cap off his championship. Checkered flag. Aaron Smith, Jaden Hopp 1 and 2. Chris Mefford comes home in 3rd.
Man. That restart was just killer.
Fireworks going off on the backstretch. And fireworks from the drivers in the backstretch. Aaron Smith celebrating the win and a title here in the IROC Challenge Series. He's going to carry win number 12 with him into round 18 next week in Atlanta.
Boy, it's almost like you knew your camera was right there, Steve.
Now Regan Smith better be careful. He's going to get hit.
Yeah.
You know where Aaron's going, right to victory lane.
He knows the way.
So with that, we're going to step out, get a break out of the way, get our top 3 finishers in the broadcast booth. After this, stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Auto Club Speedway, the penultimate race of the IROC Challenge Series season in the books. Aaron Smith locking up a championship simply by taking the green flag, but it wasn't enough. He took the race win as well and grabs yet another checkered flag. Let's pull Aaron Smith, driver of the number 70 and your new champion, into the broadcast booth. Aaron, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
We talked at the stage break about the championship. First of all, once again, congratulations there. But I guess that just wasn't enough. You wanted another checkered flag, and you take home the race win here at Auto Club. Walk us through the balance of your race after we talked at the stage.
Well, the fuel strategy was split again after the stage caution there. I had enough fuel to make it to the end on, I think it was either 1 or 2 stops. I don't remember at this point. That was about an hour ago. So I had it all figured out, and then we had a couple cautions, and then the green flag run played out the way I wanted it to there at the end. And unfortunately, I got into the 32 and ruined his race. He was able to get back up to 8th. That was a good recovery on his part. Hate that it happened, though, but was able to stay ahead of Jaden there at the last second and come on with it.
Late in the race, you guys were 4 wide for position. We kind of expected some contact to happen there. It is what it is. Everybody got through it for the most part. At least we stayed green. Obviously, Johnston was hurt in that incident as far as damage to his car, but as you said, still came back with the top 10. So I guess no harm, no foul. I'm sure he's not greatly happy with it, but we got another race left next week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I think we're going to be on the new scan next week. Obviously, a super speedway style of racing. You don't have to worry about points. Are you going to go for yet another race win next week?
Yeah, I think I'd like to be the only one doing burnouts on the front stretch at the end of it, but you never know what's going to happen at a track like Atlanta, especially the new version, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, and hopefully I don't wad it up.
Well, nevertheless, championship's yours. They can't take it away. Wish you the best of luck next week, man. Who do you want to thank before we let you get out of here?
Well, I'd like to thank all the folks at the IROC Challenge for having me this season. I'll get out of their hair for next season. You can maybe come back on the next one, but it's been a great season all around. A lot of great drivers, a lot of respectful racing up at the front, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out at Atlanta, and hopefully through the All-Star race as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next for them.
All right, Aaron. Well, again, thanks for talking to us. Congratulations. We wish you all the best of luck next week.
All right, thank you.
Aaron Smith, your race winner and new champion here in the IROC Challenge Series. Next, we're going to talk to yet another runner-up, Jaden Hopp. The kid's good. I'm not going to lie. The kid is good, but another second-place finish for Jaden Hopp. Jaden, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Jaden, congratulations, man. Another runner-up finish here to Aaron Smith. I know a lot of times there's plenty of guys out there that'll say a second-place finish to Aaron Smith has got to be almost like a win, but when you do it as much as you have, man, that first win is going to be hard to come by. It's got to be nagging at you. You got a chance next week in Atlanta?
I'm hoping so. I think I'm close enough for the bracket challenge that I can still definitely win it next week, so I'm hoping I can finally beat him next week.
So with that, let's go back to talking about tonight. What would it have taken? I know you had about 1 lap fresher tires. You were close there in the closing laps. We've had this conversation so many times throughout the season. What did you need to catch and then pass Aaron Smith? Was it 1 more lap, 2 more laps, more, a little bit better tire? I mean, what did you need?
I think I would have needed 2-ish, maybe 3, 2, 3 laps there for the green-white checker to beat him. But I don't know. You never know how it plays out.
Yeah, you can't predict it. It is what it is. You guys started 1-2, and that's just how you finished here at Auto Club. A strong performance, very impressive, not just by Aaron, but you as well, all season long. You've got 1 more shot at it next week. How do you run in the draft typically? I know we've had a couple of races as of late. You seem to be very good here on these intermediate tracks, but what is the key to success next week for Jaden Hopp?
I'm not sure, honestly. Try and stay up front as much as possible and try not to stay out of any of the accidents. I'm not sure how Atlanta's going to play out because I feel more comfortable if the race was at either Daytona or Talladega. I haven't done Atlanta much, so not sure how that will play out.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. It should be a fun one to watch regardless. Jaden, again, congratulations yet again on another runner-up finish. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I'd like to thank you for putting on broadcasts each week. They're fun to go back and watch. I'd like to thank my family for watching each week too, for rooting me on each week, and thanks to everybody for showing up each week.
All right, Jaden. Well, again, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week on getting that win.
Hopefully. Thank you.
Jaden Hopp, your runner-up finish here at Auto Club Speedway. Next, we're going to talk driver the number 46 of Chris Mefford. Mefford just would not go away here tonight. Was involved in an incident with Neil Quick earlier on in the race, but still didn't give up, battled back, finishes in the third spot. Chris, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
I got you. How you doing?
We're doing good, Chris. Congratulations on a top 3 finish. First and foremost, let's walk through the incident with yourself and the 2 of Neil Quick. Contact was made on our end. It kind of looked like Neil lost the nose and slid into your left rear. Is that kind of how you interpreted it, or is it a little more sinister than that?
So going into turn 1 there, he broke a lot sooner than I thought he was going to. So I really had to dart it down the track just to miss him. My intention was not to do that because I've been following him for the last couple laps. But it just darted, and I just had to try to keep the car from underneath me to stop from spinning out. And then he went to the crossover, and I think when he crossed it over, it took a little bit of air off my spoiler. I got a little loose, not a lot, but enough to kind of blow me up. But I kept going up the track, and I think he was still trying to make his corner. So I'm not sure really what the blame is on that one. Just really hard race, and it sucks because that first 25 laps, I just saved the crap at my tires. My tires were so freaking good. Once I caught Neil, I think if I'd have passed Neil, I could have took off. But it happens, and wound up third.
Well, third place finish. You took the last set of tires at lap 83. Tell us about saving tires throughout the course of that run so that you still had one more set to bolt on that final pit stop. That car's got to be a handful on worn-out tires.
Worn-out tires, little fuel, yes. Now, when you come down and get some fuel, it keeps more weight on the rear tires. Yes, it pushed a little bit more, but it kept it a little more stable too. So, Garrett and myself, we was on the same kind of strategy as far as tires and not tires and stuff like that. So we was actually able to hold up with Brian and Wally there before we came down and got tires. So I thought we was in a pretty good position. Me and him both got up front. He started pulling away, then I got past Aaron. Both pulled Aaron, and then we all kind of stabilized about a second and a half apart. So I know he pitted about a lap sooner than us, lap or 2 sooner than us. I'm not sure if he had any, pit stop mishaps or not, but I thought I was able to hold Aaron off there, but he got a hell of a run on the outside, and I think if it bogged up the outside, I could have held him off, but him having that momentum on the outside really let him prevail.
Well, we wrap up things here at Auto Club Speedway, and we head back east to Atlanta. Kind of super speedway racing now that Atlanta's got the new configuration. That's, I think, where we're running next week. How do you feel about your chance out there for the final race of the season, the final regular season race at least?
A 0% chance.
Come on.
I'm being honest. I very, very, very dislike that track. I wish they kept it the same. It just don't seem as fun anymore. Yeah, I get like broadcasting-wise, probably for sure. But when you mean Stevie raced enough, racing down in those packs, especially a less wide track and narrow track, and everybody running the same speed, especially in these things. They just get so twitchy. Even when we ran, I think it was Charlotte or something like that a couple weeks ago, done the same thing, just got real light at the trioval. So I don't know, it'll be fun. I may race, may not, just depends on work and stuff like that. But I know Like you said, Super Speedway. I'm not sure if Wally's giving the fast repair or not. We had a lot of guys show a lot of respect tonight, even with the fast repair. I know there was some incidents, which does happen, but for the most part, it was pretty good racing.
Well, we certainly look forward to it. You're absolutely right. On a broadcast perspective, Atlanta's a blast, but on my end, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I know they had to do something with it. I just wish they didn't reconfigure it the way that they did. I think it was a better racetrack before, but we don't get to make those decisions, unfortunately. It is what it is, and we're going there regardless.
Yeah, like you said, regardless, I think it'll show up some good racing. So we had a lot of good racing tonight. You really didn't have that one person that just, you had Aaron take off and set sail on that first stage, but then you see he had to come down and pit, and he actually burned his tires up, and you could tell in that second stage he was kind of falling back a little bit. So I think you'll have a lot more close racing next week in Atlanta, and you never know, you might have a new winner.
Well, you never know. It could be you. You got to be in it to win it. So hopefully you're available to run it. We look forward to seeing you each and every race that you do get to run here. Chris, again, congratulations on the top 3 finish here tonight. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yep, I thank you guys there at HBR TV for the broadcast. Huge shout out to Spartan Logistics, Transportation. I know without them, we couldn't do a lot of this stuff. So thank you to Brian Rick and everything he does. Thanks to Wally for everybody, 5-star graphics, his graphics he does, putting up with everybody. I know it's not easy. And shout out to R&R Racewear, my teammates, everybody at Charity Motorsports. We had a good run. They knew he was there, but, catching up that 70, it's like the dude's got 8 tires instead of 4 sometimes, so maybe I might have to go out, buy a monster truck and go run everybody over just to get that W.
All right, Chris, man, thanks for talking to us. Certainly wish you the best of luck next week if you happen to come out and race with us. Looking forward to it, man.
Well, I appreciate it.
It's Chris Mefford, your third-place finisher here at Auto Club Speedway. That's going to wrap up the interview portion of our broadcast, so let's take a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to Aaron Smith, Jaden Hopp, Chris Mefford. That was your top 3. Brian McCann comes home in the 4th position. John Osborne was 5th. 6th place was Brandon Mefford. 7th went to Doug Wysocki. 8th place was Garrett Johnston. Mike Cook was 9th. Tim Schofield was 10th. Chris Wally finishes 11th after a strong run. Led some laps here tonight. Rick Kelly was 12th. Josh Braley 13th. Larry Bruner 14th. William Tyndall finished in the 15th spot. Josh Funkhauser was 16th. 17th went to Matt Kopp. Trevor Quick was 18th. And last but not least, Neil Quick finishes in the 19th spot, 19 laps down after what I believe was a pit exit penalty for the 2. Unfortunately for him, ended his night just a bit early. I got to thank you guys all for watching all season long. Of course, we do have one more race to run before the season comes to a close. That's going to be Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. But don't forget, we do have one race after that as well. That's not a regular season event. It's kind of an exhibition. It's going to be an all-star race. That'll be, I don't know if I can even disclose it, so I'm going to keep it to myself for the time being. I need to know for broadcast purposes, but I don't know if it's been announced, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But that should be a fun one as well. Make sure you tune in for that 2 weeks from tonight. Of course, next week, final race of the season here, the IROC Challenge Series. It's been a blast thus far. Aaron Smith locking up the title here in California, going back east to try and win number 13. It's going to do it for us. If you haven't already done so, like the stream. Just click that like button in the YouTube. It's youtube.com/@HBRTV and the number 1. It's free to do. It helps us immensely, not just here at the channel, but also the Racing League. And also peruse HBRTV1.com. Try to get the live links posted up there on a regular basis. It doesn't always happen, but we do appreciate the traffic nonetheless. With that said, I'm going to get out of here. Congratulations, Aaron Smith, on a wonderful season. Lots of wins and a title. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.